Welcome to the Sunday morning simulcast with Rom Wills. Work for success in life. Work. I have to emphasize the word work. We all want to be successful. All of us want to be successful at something, at our chosen craft or whatever business career. But you got to work for it. You can have whatever you want, provided you work for it. And the work means it's not even just on the vocation itself or the project itself, business, career, whatever. Or it could be something outside of those things. You got to do the work. That means you have to really work on yourself. First, you have to have the mindset that you can be successful. You have to have the mindset. There have been plenty of people I've met over the decades. They might have had some talent at something or an idea and they wanted success, but they didn't do the work. They didn't work on themselves. They didn't do that extra step. And before I go further, let me get into that extra step. When I see the people who have succeeded in life, regardless of the vocation, they always went that extra step. They went that extra mile. And then they also had perseverance. Success doesn't come to anyone overnight. I'm waiting to meet that person. Everyone who's been successful, even if it seems like luck, they work to put themselves in that position. They work to be in that position, to be in the right spot in order to reach a level of success, to have that moment. It's never a lucky moment. They had to work just to get there. And that's important. Like, you can have whatever you want, but you have to do the work. And you have to have that perseverance. You have to persevere in order to get to that place, because it can happen at any moment. And when you talk about luck, well, you got to be in position to take advantage of it. Indeed, you need to create your own luck. But that takes some work. I mean, obviously, you got to work on the craft. You have to work on the chosen vocation. You have to figure out the ins and outs of it, and you have to persevere in it. But then you really do have to start with yourself before you even get to that point. Many people give up. I've seen too many people, the slightest trouble, the slightest setback, it's like, oh, I can't do this, and then wonder why they weren't successful. I wish it was so easy we could just do it and go. And indeed, even for people, it seemed like everything they touch turned to gold. Really examine them, really talk to them. They'll tell you, well, I remember the times they didn't. But you know what they did? They persevered. They learned what they had to learn. They learned from their mistakes. Anyone successful at anything, they made plenty of mistakes, but they learned from it. They persevered. Yes, I'm going to keep saying the word persevere. You got to stick with it. You got to keep working. It's always a work. But I'm going to tell you what, even when you work for something, it's worth it. Think about it. You did all the work. You did all the preparation. You persevered through some tough times. That success is yours. It wasn't handed to you. Nobody gives you anything anyway. I don't care what it is. Shoot, you had to change your mindset. You had to look at yourself in the mirror and say, what is keeping me from doing the things that I want to do? You had to do that work. And let me say, I'm going to get into that in a second. So you feel good doing what you did because you accomplished it. But, one of the things I have to say is you can't blame anybody outside of yourself. The theys don't have that much power. I'm still waiting for a they to stop me from doing the things that I want to do. Because they would have to genetically engineer someone or some force to stop me. Because ultimately, everything is already within you. You have the ideas. You have the thoughts that can get you around any obstacles. Even if they can put plenty of obstacles there. You just say, oh, okay, something else to do. And then when you get past it, or you get to the point where those obstacles don't bother, you can be like, you might hand the obstacle back to them and say to them, you know what, That wasn't good enough. Come on, man. Try again. Come on, come on. Give me something harder. And I'm gonna tie my hands, but I'm gonna tie both hands behind my back, okay? Shoot, you gotta mess with them. But that's the thing though. But you still have to do that work. People see, I'll use myself for an example. People see where I am now. People don't see how much work I had to do. They don't see how many cameras, phones, all of that, everything I had to learn from, I had to figure out. They don't see that. I had to work to get to this point where I can sit here in this spot to do this video. I had to work. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. But you know what? It felt good when I accomplished some things, when I reached some goals. It felt super good because I did the work. It wasn't handed to me. It wasn't handed. And yes, I had to persevere through some things, but that was part of the work. Everything. And anyone should want to work anyway. They should want to work for it because nobody can take it from you. See, when someone hands you something or you think they hand you something and it's not really based on your work, it never lasts long. That success never lasts long. Plenty of people have been handed money and ruined it. Plenty of people. Or something, or they thought, yeah, they might have had that connection, but you have to maintain it. See, that's the beauty of working for your success. You work to get there, so you already have the skill set to work to keep it. That's the beauty of it. You already got it. You already know what to do. Already know how to adjust because you persevered through some obstacles. So it's just like, oh, okay, this is coming up. Like I said, and that's how you have to do. That's how you have to be. Because we all want to succeed, all of us. I haven't met anyone. haven't met anyone who didn't want to succeed, no matter what was going on. Even if it seemed like they accepted their position in life, deep down, they wanted to live the best life, a satisfying life. And you can have that. You just got to work for it. Very simple. All right? So I want y'all to think about that. I want you to think about what do you want to succeed at in life. And remember, you have to have that mindset. You have to be willing to do the work. And you have to persevere. All right? So anyway, I want everyone to keep rising and transforming. Peace.